So I'm just making this partly as a little update and also partly because getting all the unlockables and stuff is taking a long time because the game requires you to do Nightmare Mode, which takes pretty long because it's really kind of hard and tedious. I'm not showing off Nightmare Mode though because it's basically the same as the regular game. It's just all the enemies are a lot tougher. So anyway, here's some things that I either didn't show off or forgot to show off. Firstly, when you're in the first tier, and when you get the Mask of Eyes, when you go in here and trigger the cutscene with Rico, you can't see him. However, if you quickly take off the Mask of Eyes before you walk in there, it triggers the cutscene to play out a little bit differently. It's nothing really special, doesn't really change anything, but I think it's kinda nice. Also, there's another scene later with Unica where she can get the miniature Black Pearl before getting the Dreaming Idol. She can get one before the other, and both bits of dialogue will play out a little bit differently depending on which one you get first. After a certain point, the dialogue just ends up playing out the same way it normally would. Also, before I said that when Unica lifts the curse of petrification from the knights, she gets knighted on the spot, and that's actually incorrect. She gets knighted right around here when she takes Radozanax. Also, I mentioned it when I played as Hugo, but I didn't actually show it off. So here's what happens if you try to wear the evil ring without first equipping the blue necklace. And there's one last thing I want to show off with Hugo. So you have his trap mine skill, and usually the manual will tell you, the manual section of the pause menu will tell you everything you need to know about certain skills and stuff, but it doesn't mention this one, so I feel like it's worth talking about. When you use a charged trap mine with Hugo, you're actually still in control of that mine. You don't have to sit around and wait for it to detonate. If you tap the button again after placing it, you can make it explode early. It's kind of weird to get used to at first, and it's not too difficult to pull off, but it's kind of weird when you realize you could do it. All you gotta do is tap the button. You can tap it and hold it so you can keep dashing. Once you let it go, it'll blow up. This is really useful for those mandatory undead monsters in the Silent Sands that you have to beat in order to save Fina. And it's also more useful in Nightmare Mode than it is in any other difficulty, really. Or maybe Hard Mode, too. You could do it with the regular trap mines, but it's not very reliable. And I'm just using the keyboard controls to see whether or not it would work, and it works pretty much exactly the same. I'm not really good with the keyboard controls, I don't really like them, so I was sticking with controller. But it works pretty much exactly the same way. Anyway, so I wanted to do this a little later, but it's taking a little longer to do all the unlockable stuff because of having to do Nightmare Mode multiple times. That's coming, though. It's just going to take a while, and I'll probably have moved on to something new by the time it's up. Anyway, that's all for now.